So, you are moving to the DFW area from somewhere else and you need some guidance. You are like me and don't know what is what, where is where. If you like me and thinking the DFW is one place, well, we got a surprise for you. It is not. So stay tuned because today we're going to kind of pinpoint different areas and show you the differences and how far things are from wherever so you can see the difference and how spread out the DFW is. If you have any questions, be sure to comment. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that we can notify you whenever we post a new video so you can be tuned in what's going on in the DFW area.
So we're gonna get to it right now. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dre, and I'm here with Brandy. We're here with the Make It Move groups in Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. If this is your first time watching the channel, like Brandy said, hit that subscribe button. Literally, guys, people call us all the time. Like, we're not even gonna sugarcoat it.
Text, email.
Looking to relocate to the area. So if you are one of those people that need assistance relocating to the area, definitely, like she said, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or you can schedule a call via the Calendly link that is dropped in the description below. And we're gonna get straight to it. So guys, I literally done moved all over this country. The only place I haven't lived is on the West Coast, and every time it's just been a different experience, and I've been nervous, and I never knew exactly what I was getting myself into, and I've always been disappointed every time I moved to a new city. I'm like, damn, I could have saved a lot of money if I had I just known this.
Yeah. And that's kind of why we started this, so that we can kind of inform people who are like us, who are migrating here from somewhere else. And we didn't have that information back when we did this, and so now we're making sure we give you guys that information. So for like me, I moved here and I had never even visited here before.
Wow.
So I'm looking online and I thought DFW was one big place. It said minutes from downtown, so I picked my location based off what the internet said. And then once I literally got here, I live 7 minutes from downtown, all right, but not the downtown.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, okay.
Oh, wow.
You know, I didn't know that. So now we started this little maps tour so you can see if you have a job, we can put your job in and then the area that you want to move to, and we can show you what's going on in that
and
area.
the same thing that we're doing on this call, on this video, is the same thing we do on Zoom calls as well. So we pull up the MLS. We show you exactly what you're looking for. So you said, oh, I'm looking for a 4-bed, 3-bath house in this area. Okay, cool. We'll show you the area, the houses, and if you like it, we'll actually show you like how far this would be from your job, and we just go from there.
Yep.
All right. So without further ado, this is not a sales pitch by any means, but it just goes along with the story. Without further ado, we are going to hop over to the map.
Dre said it's not a sales pitch. What would we be selling, the map?
I guess so. I'm trying to get people to call us. Sorry.
It's not a sales pitch.
There we
We're
go.
just trying to help you. If you know anything about our channels, you know that our goal is to keep you informed, give you the knowledge that you may not have, to make sure you know everything that there is to know about moving to the DFW area.
So let me zoom all the way out.
What area are you gonna pick, Dre?
So we're just gonna give them a brief overview of everything, right?
Okay.
So DFW is comprised of two major cities. Yeah, two major cities. Okay, you got Dallas, big old Dallas. You see how big Dallas is? And then you got little baby Fort Worth.
Okay,
but it's not.
It's not the truth. Dre is over here biased to DFW. Dallas is not that.
Do you see how big? Oh yeah, you're right. But Dallas is like yeah.
Like if you look, it's no bigger. I mean, Dallas is larger in mass and population, but Fort Worth is actually larger in land.
Oh wow!
So don't let him fool you, because you can go off in here and you'll hit back into Fort Worth, whereas Dallas is just there. So nice try, Dre.
Okay, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Well, like I was saying, you got Dallas and you got Fort Worth, and then you got Arlington, which is in the middle. Okay. So Dallas is a lot more expensive than Fort Worth just because of the demand. Everybody's trying to move to Dallas, and I just looked this up from Realtor.com. Don't know how accurate this is, so don't quote me on this. If you hop on the call, we can pull up the MLS and get some accurate home prices for you. But the median price of a home in Dallas, Texas is about $560,000. And what you get for Dallas and in that price range, I mean, it's nice, but there's so many different other areas in which you can get better, more land, more of a community vibe. Dallas, everything is kind of like old, I would say.
Listen, Drake trying to get us in trouble, okay? He is telling y'all from his personal experiences and opinion, Dallas is a very big place. They have some new build areas, they have master plan, they have old, they have experience, they have nice. So it's not old or new. It just depends on what your style, what your preference, and what your taste is, okay?
She lying. Literally, all the places that I've... Oh my gosh.
You have not been to all the cities in the Dallas?
Yeah, I vlogged the areas.
We vlogged everywhere. We vlogged certain parts.
We're talking about the city of Dallas.
It's some new areas in Dallas.
They got master plan communities.
Yes.
Look, this is when. We're gonna have to find it.
In the city of Dallas, not the suburb, in Dallas.
So, anyways, my experience is that it's already established communities, and they got this big old house, big old new construction house in the middle of the hood. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And then they got areas like University Park right here, Highland Park. These are like the uppity areas where you got the $1 million homes, and that's where everybody really want to be, that North Dallas area. Honestly, from my experience, nobody ever talks about South Dallas or East Dallas. Oak Cliff, what they got? They got Bishop Arts. Even they got nice houses out there, but literally like 2 minutes away from that, it's the hood. So whatever, Brandy
is trying to get us in trouble.
Yep.
Listen, that is not all accurate. Even in the Oak Cliff area, the Lancaster area, it has been gentrified. It is new. It is up and coming. You have $1 million homes in those areas as well. He's steering, y'all. What you doing? He doing what they call steering. Do not listen, okay? If you can find some good areas in there as well, in Lancaster, in Oak Cliff, in the South Dallas area, in the Fair Park area, all of those areas, just like you can find in North Dallas. The reason people don't understand why North Dallas is a little bit more expensive than the South Dallas area is because you're closer to businesses and corporations. So a lot of the corporations are in the North Dallas, Capel, Richardson, Plano area. That's why the cost of living is more expensive, because it's location. South Dallas, everybody thinks that downtown hosts a lot of corporate jobs, whereas that's not true, because in our downtown area, you have a lot of the stadiums in like the Dallas Mavericks Stadium, those type of things. So that's why a lot of companies aren't, as many companies and corporations aren't in those areas, so cost of living isn't expensive. So that's not all true, okay?
Okay. She's been here way longer than me, so I've only been here for 2 years, and I'm just giving my honest opinion, and that's all I try to do on this video.
Amen.
So, Dallas, we kind of went over Dallas briefly. Anything else you got to add about Dallas, or?
Well, just about all the attractions in Dallas. Dallas has a lot of attractions. One thing that people don't realize is, like, the Cowboys do not play in Dallas. Although they're the Dallas Cowboys, they do not play in Dallas. The Mavericks do play in Dallas. The Stars, the Rangers do not play. The Ranger Stadium is not in. It's in Arlington.
Oh, yeah.
So those are a few things that you would think.
The Dallas Stars, I believe their stadium is in Frisco. Yeah.
So just certain little things that you would think are in Dallas, they're not actually in Dallas. The actual airport, the DFW airport, is not in Dallas. So those are things that, we're here to kind of inform you of the misconception that everything is in Dallas. It's normally in one of the little sub-cities or suburbs around the Dallas or Fort Worth area.
All right. So
that's all I had to add.
She talked about Arlington a little bit, so we're just gonna go over to Arlington.
Okay.
She just talked about that. So Arlington, it's like it's definitely in the middle. So you're halfway from Fort Worth, halfway from Dallas, and I'll just kind of pull that up. So on the map, real quick.
And people like Arlington because it's centrally located. Most of the major highways run through Arlington, so it kind of makes everything look literally in the middle. The taxes in Arlington are a little bit more expensive because, like I said, you have both stadiums in the Arlington area. But if you're looking to visit, that's a good prime location for like Airbnbs to come and visit.
And that's a good point.
It keeps you right in the middle, you know. And it got a lot of tourist attractions like the Rangers and Cowboys stadium.
So via the map, if you're taking I-30, which is this is actually a good point. So there's two major highways that take you all across. They take you between Dallas and Fort Worth, right? So you have I-30, which is on the north side, and then you have I-20, which is on the bottom, which is on the south side.
That's a good one right now.
Really?
Yeah,
All this time?
All this time.
Wow.
I just knew it was 30 and 20 because they both run east-west. So I never thought it never translates that one is on the north entrance and one's on the southern.
Wow.
Learn something new every day.
So if you're taking I-30 without tolls, actually, it is. Okay. Well, it's gonna be 24 minutes to Dallas from Arlington. Now, if you're going to Fort Worth, we can't even make this up. It's gonna be 20 minutes. So
it's literally
in the middle.
Literally in the middle. Arlington is literally in the middle. Now, we're not saying that you should move there just because it's in the middle, but we're just saying it's in the middle. But it is a very highly desired area because it's in the middle.
And they got this really nice master plan community there called Veridian. Oh my God, I fell in love. Look, they got a whole lake. They got a mini beach there. It's just nice. Let me just show y'all this real quick. This is why I love map tours. So we know all the master plan communities in the area. We get a list every month with all the new master plan communities. So what I'll do, I'll pull up some pictures of Veridian. So this is the community right here, Veridian. So this is Lake Veridian. They have like I said, they had a beach. They have a beach at the Veridian.
Private? Is this area gated? Like, do you
No,
have
it's
to live
not.
to come there? Okay.
I was able to get in free. They're constantly selling. So the good thing about it is, if you see this right here, they're building up a lot of homes on this little bridge area. So they started right here, and then there's new homes built right here. So the thing about Veridian is that it's a community for everybody. So if you're a millionaire, your house is going to be like near the beach area, right? But if you're within that $300,000, $400,000 price range, they're not poor, but just the average, the regular working people. We don't discriminate against anybody. Honestly, I was gonna say honestly, but like we're realtors, so we run across literally everybody. You know what I mean? So they have $1 million homes, and then it's kind of like separated. You can definitely tell the difference between $1 million and the regular. Everything's new, but you're just gonna be farther away from the amenities. You still live in the community. I wish I had some pictures. Oh, here we go.
To the same community.
So let me just.
Access to the same stuff.
Yeah. So here's just some pictures you can see.
Ooh, look how fancy Dre is, you guys.
Look, that's the lake.
This is the lake, the beach.
It was nice. It was nice. You see that? It's nice.
Lake Veridian, they got walking trails, tennis courts, parks for the kids. This is just one of the master plan communities that's in the Veridian. If you're interested in knowing more about the Veridian in particular, then make sure you hit the subscribe, reach out to us, schedule a Calendly link so that we can talk about it and get you up in the
I gotta get this dog.
Right?
I gotta
get you in there. You're worrying about dog. We're trying to get y'all in some homes.
Do you see that dog? Anyways, but yeah, they got tons of master plan communities all over the Metroplex. So we didn't talked about Arlington, Fort Worth. I mean, we didn't talk about Fort Worth yet.
Dre don't never like to talk about Fort Worth. He always.
No, I love Fort Worth. Fort Worth is home. Fort Worth is home for me. That's where I live for my first year when I was here. One of the big things you need to know about Fort Worth is that they got TCU here. It's part of the city. So I didn't even know anything about TCU, but apparently this is a big Christian university. Texas, the Horned Frogs, the city goes all out for Fort Worth. For TCU. So I work at one of the hotels downtown, and they really cater towards TCU. Fort Worth, you get more of that country vibe. They have a lot of different attractions. Fort Worth is a lot more affordable, so the median price of a home there is within the low $300,000 price range. So according to Realtor.com, the median price of a home is going to be about $345,000. But it just depends on what area that you live in. Brandy, she lived here forever, damn near.
But we can find you some homes a little bit lower than the average 345, but that is on the average. Fort Worth is not just cows and horses. That's what people think. That is not all it is. It has so much more than that to offer. They have some great master plan communities as well. They have a lot of scenic places and family places, museums, art museums, history museums, botanical gardens. They have one of the Fort Worth actually has the #1 zoo in the nation.
Wow.
The #1 zoo in the United States is in Fort Worth. So although Dallas is the bigger place, the zoo in Fort Worth is better than the Dallas Zoo. So that's why a lot of people
the reason why everybody considers Fort Worth like country town because they got the stockyards, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot more history. I just moved here 2 years ago, so I'm not saying this the main reason, but just in my own perspective, right? So if you're from Fort Worth, by all means, feel free to correct me and drop a comment and help anybody else out here.
Help me out.
Yeah.
I always talk about Fort Worth. Okay, help me out. Drop a comment. Let him know about Fort Worth facts.
Look, this is literally like the vibe. So every day they do like a cattle drive at the Fort Worth Stockyards. I believe it's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Right on time. I didn't even have to plan this out. But like this is a little brick road and you come here, everything looks a little Western, saloon-like. And whenever clients come in town for the weekend, I always point them towards this direction. They have a rodeo here. I don't know how often it is, but they do have a big rodeo once a year.
And they actually sell cattle there for those who are looking to raise and do anything with cattle and horses. They actually sell the livestock there at the livestock exchange.
Oh wow. So,
and then they have like rodeos, not only on the stockyards, but at the Will Rogers Stadium, where they do a lot of the shows and competitions for the cattle. They do that too, so that's something big.
So Fort Worth, it's not as flashy as Dallas, but it does have a lot of attractions. So they have the Fort Worth Water Gardens, which is like you wouldn't even believe me when I say this. So I'm just gonna pull up a picture. It's a free attraction, and it's just like waterfalls, and it's really relaxing. You don't have to pay anything. I've actually vlogged there one time. So look at that, just water flowing, a lot of families. It's good for a date night. And they have like little small like brick mountains, or actually they have like stairs you can walk down, take selfies. Like if you want a really cool picture, if you're a photographer like that, then look, you can really get it in there. But just walking space, sometimes they have vendors selling ice cream and stuff. It's a really cool environment that you have to pay absolutely nothing for. Fort Worth, they have the Trinity Trails. They have a lot of farmers market there every weekend. What else do they have? You can walk. It goes all throughout the city, actually, the Trinity Trails. So, what else do they have in Fort Worth? Botanical Gardens, Zoo, Sundance Square.
Yeah, Sundance Square is something huge. They have some of the top hospital facilities, a whole district. So that's something good, especially for those medical people who are in the medical field, looking to move to find a good job or residency. That's a good place to live for that. Dallas and Fort Worth actually have a really good medical centers. So, yeah.
So that's Dallas, Fort Worth. So a lot of other areas that people are interested in. People don't talk about it, but there's other different areas between Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington. A lot of the people, we're just going to be real with you. That way, when you move here, you know what you're getting yourself into. So people, sometimes they live in Dallas. I made this mistake. My job was in downtown Dallas when I first lived here, and I lived all the way in Southwest Fort Worth with my in-laws, and it was about an hour and a half. So I say that to say that
the same thing. No, really. I live in West Fort Worth. I'm up there, and then I worked in South Dallas. So that was about an hour drive one way. So yeah, I drove through 3 different cities to get to my job: Fort Worth, then Arlington, then Grand Prairie, then Dallas, just to get to work. So one of the things we want you to see is when you're looking at these map tours, use them. Like, we're not just putting stuff up here and talking and being dry just for just to hear ourselves talk. We really want you to know it's a lot of cities in between. So kind of pinpoint where you want to know, where you want to live, and ask us how far it is, So we can pull it up and give you exact driving distance so you can see how far it is in traffic and out of traffic. So you'll know, because that's important. Unless you just don't mind driving an hour and 30 minutes, an hour, when gas is already almost $5 a gallon.
So like prime example, if you work in downtown Dallas, you have so many options. Arlington, Texas, 25 minutes away from Dallas, maybe 40 minutes with traffic. If you work in Dallas, you can potentially live in Plano. You can potentially live in Forney. Or if you work in Fort Worth, you can live in Arlington, you can live in Saginaw. All of like the thing about Texas, they don't have a lot of land inside of the major cities. But if you go further out, that's where everything's starting to build up. But you got to reach out to us to figure out where is the prime location. There are so many different master plan communities or regular degular. I'm a little biased. I'm not even gonna lie towards master plan community. I'm about in my late 20s, and I'm all into the flashy stuff. Now Brandy on the other side, she like,
he trying to call me old, John. Before he called me old, I'm gonna cut him off. Now, if you look at our map, right, what I want you guys to look at is, if you see how it's white or like a gray area, that means it's already been developed. And so those prices are already set. Now, if you look at all of these subsidies where it's green, that's all land. That's why it's green. So that means they're building, and when they have little patches of white, that's where they've developed. But everything else is still undeveloped. It's not a lot of homes out there. So if you don't mind driving 30 minutes to get to Fort Worth because you work in Fort Worth, you can look in your areas, Springtown, Carter, Wright, Crescent, and build out there, get some land out there, and it's more reasonable because it hasn't been developed yet. So these are the areas that you want to live to, even the Boyd, the Romes. If you come down up in this area on the Dallas side and go to Bristol, Chris, you see Forney. That's why Forney is big, because now it's starting to get developed just now.
Forney, this is a plug. Forney is very freaking inexpensive. So I looked at all the master plan communities before we did this video, the median price of a home. So everybody's talking about Plano, Frisco, Salina, Prosper, $500,000, $650,000 median price of a home. Okay. Now, if you look in Forney, they're building up all over the place, but the median price of a home there is $350,000.
But then you got to look too. You keep saying Plano. Plano has already been developed. If you look at our map, Plano is white. There is barely any green for Plano. So that's why you wouldn't want to go to those areas, because they've already built. They've pretty much capped out there. But if you go up, if you go to your Princeton, if you go to your Salina, if you go to Aubrey, if you go to
Melissa, Anna.
Yes, those are the areas that are building right now, and it's cheaper. So you're still 40 minutes from Dallas, maybe a little farther depending on where you are.
Everybody's been asking about Midlothian,
but you see, Alvarado. So let's talk about it. So we've been getting a lot of hits about Midlothian and Mansfield. They're not far from each other, right? Well, guess what? Venus is right next to Midlothian. So if you hit Venus area up, you're close to Midlothian, but you're getting that larger house for a cheaper price because it hasn't been developed yet. The key is to get to where it hasn't been developed, because 2 years ago, 5 years ago, Midlothian was just like that. It didn't have a lot of white, and it was expensive. So now it's growing, and so the house prices, the median income is going up. It's not high. I think Jerry said the median income out in Midlothian was probably almost $400, but it wasn't a huge amount.
It's not that bad. Let me look at my notes real quick. So Midlothian, $443,000.
Yeah, so the middle and Mansfield, which is right next to it, that median income is $425 versus going to your Dallas where it's $530. You see what I mean? That's what we're saying. You might want to be close to Dallas, but not pay the cost to live in Dallas.
And actually, what we're going to do on our next video, we are going to put up the map, but we're going to have the price ranges and for each different suburb.
You tell us, and if you want to, in the comments below, you guys, if you're seeing this map tours right now, click a link. Like, you can see the city, click on one of the cities or highlight a city that you want to know about, and then we can tell you the median cost for that city, if there are any major companies in that city, and how far it is from your company if you already have a company in mind. So don't be afraid to use those comments.
If you see any cities that you would like, drop a comment so that we can highlight that on our next map tour video. So I know this is extremely helpful. I wish, like I said, when I moved to Houston, One of my frat brothers literally just sent me a map and said, here, this is what it is. But I wish there was a video and it said, this is where this is at. This is where this is at.
Yeah, like my job, somebody would be like, oh, I just got a job and my job is in Farmers Branch in Capel, but I looked at the median cost. The median cost to live here is $600,000. So where can I live that won't put me, too far of a commute, but that's not as expensive? And then we'll say, oh, okay, well, Justin's about a 30-minute drive, and you can get a decent house for $400,000 versus paying $600,000 to live in Capel. So those are things like that we can help with to help narrow down your search and kind of make it so you don't bump your head and make the same mistakes that we made.
All right, so
I think that was a lot of information for you guys. Process it, think about it, comment below, and again, hit the subscribe button so that when we drop new information, new map tours, because that's something that we're doing that a lot of other people aren't doing, then you'll get updated information every time we drop something new. And we come up with new stuff every day based off of what people are inboxing us about, based off what people are texting us about. We have new stuff and new information every day, and that's our goal, right? We're here to give you guys some type of value.
Yep. So if you guys have any additional questions about Dallas, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Or you can catch one of these videos to see exactly what it's like living in Dallas. We will catch you guys on our next one. Deuces.
One.